I don't evolve, I'm going to be one of those guys that's constantly complaining. How many likes you got? How many followers you got? It all became a number. People think they don't have to put in the work. They blew up overnight, but it's like they've been working at this for like 10, 15 years. I was kind of like a guinea pig on trying to figure out what they were going to do to fix the schizophrenia.
What your number one success block is that may be impacting your success.
I wrote and recorded this song a year ago when I stopped drinking alcohol. Rejection is God's protection. Never be afraid to drive the car yourself.
I know as a creator that we take pride in the things.
My music making feel good. Play the long game.
Welcome to another episode of the Starter Girlz Podcast, where girls isn't about gender, it's about grit. We celebrate the dreamers, the builders, and the difference makers bold enough to start. I'm your host, Jennifer Loehding, and wherever you are tuning in today, we are so glad to have you. Well, I'm so excited about my guest today because lately, and my audience probably knows this, or maybe they don't, but usually when I bring guests on the show, I always feel like I get to know them a little bit before I bring them on. And so lately, we've just been being surprised, and it has been so much fun because I'm meeting them for the first time. And so my guest today is another one of those that I am meeting for the first time today. And I'm already excited to chat with him because he's got a great personality, and I think this is just going to be an incredible show. So to get this thing kicked off, we're going to start off with this. Music has a way of saying the things we sometimes struggle to put into words. For my guest today, songwriting isn't just about performing or creating a sound. It's about telling real stories. Stories about love, struggle, vulnerability, and the human experience. Over the past decade, he's evolved as an artist, blending funk, neo-soul, and soulful storytelling while performing on some iconic stages along the way. But his journey isn't only about music. It's also about resilience, mental health awareness, and using creativity as a way to connect with others who may be going through their own battles. And so I am so excited to chat with him today. I think it's going to be a great conversation. But before I can bring him on, you guys know the drill. We have to do a shout out to our sponsor. This episode is brought to you by Walt Mills Productions. Need to add excitement to your YouTube videos or some expert hands for editing? Look no further. Walt Mills is the solution you've been searching for. Walt is not only your go-to guy for spicing up content, he's the force behind a thriving film production company with numerous titles in the pipeline. Always on the lookout for raw talent, Walt is eager to collaborate on film and internet productions. With a background deeply rooted in entertainment and promotion, Walt Mills leverages years of skills to give you the spotlight you deserve. Want to learn more about Walt and his work? Head on over to waltmillsproductions.net and let your content shine. And with that, I do want to make a mention to head on over to startergirlz.com. And why do I say that? For 3 reasons. 1, because if you have missed an episode, it is a great place to catch up. It's also a great place to sign up for our community newsletter, and you can stay in the know of all these fabulous episodes that go out. And then also, if you are an aspiring creator, an entrepreneur, or maybe you're in the thick of it right now and you want to know what your number one success block is that may be hindering your success, well, guess what? I've got you covered. You can go over there and take my 2-minute quiz, and it will tell you exactly what block may be affecting your success right now. So as I always say, head on over to startergirlz.com and do your thing. All right. I think we're ready to bring the guest on today. So my guest, Dylan Garcia, a recording artist whose sounds blend funk, neo-soul, and emotionally driven storytelling. Over the past decade, he's built a career as both a performer and songwriter while using his platform to bring awareness to important conversations around mental health. And so, Dylan, I want to say welcome to the show. I am so excited to chat with you today.
Yeah, thanks, Jennifer.
It's going to be fun. So
Yeah.
we had to get through, you have to get through all that intro stuff. I'm like, after a few episodes of these, I'm like, man, sometimes I wish the record button was just like playing those things, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I go through them. I feel like I just go through autopilot on it. It's like I have to go through the only thing different. I have to make sure I know who I'm talking to on the other side,
Yeah. But it's the same
So
routine every episode. Same routine.
that's right. That's right. It's a good thing though, because then you know what you're
Yeah.
doing. Like I'll tell you, it's like every time I go to tweak something, you probably do the same thing in your work. You get kind of a rhythm down. You're like, you know what? I'm going to change something up just a little bit because I'm a little bored. So then I will, and then I feel like I kind of get myself a little bit stressed because I have to like relearn something new and get through it. And then once I get it again, I've got it. And then just about that time, Dylan, guess what happens? I go, you know what? I need to change something again. I'm bored.
I love it. I
Yep.
love it.
That's why.
Because
All
nothing
right.
changes if nothing changes.
This is true. This
Yeah.
is true. And I think, you know what? You probably agree. As a creator, we have to evolve. We have to keep growing and evolving and keep moving forward.
You know what? When I first got into like the real side of music, the real industry side, not just as a hobby, but when I really started getting involved professionally, um, I probably adapted than a majority of a lot of artists because I came in the era when like music industry tanked. Everyone's blaming Napster and CDs weren't a thing anymore. iPods had just came out. All of a sudden now you got to buy digital music from not being
Yeah.
physical anymore. And nobody had a real clear business plan how we were going to sell MP3s. And I
Mm,
got into this record deal. But when I saw there was no clear vision, I'm like, they're the record label. I said, I think I got a better plan than they do. I mean, and
yeah.
you know, from that point, then Facebook was barely a thing, barely came out at this time. And
Right.
we're kind of like transitioning from MySpace. And
I remember
then
MySpace.
Twitter
Yeah.
is like, and then Twitter before X, Twitter was just a thing where you, whoop, when you get the little alert from Twitter, and you had to be on all of the social medias to be cool. And
Yeah.
Snapchat wasn't even a thing. Spotify didn't exist. Um, but like one thing that really struck me was like, I mean, I could say it now. I'm older. I'm 44. As a younger, you know, you always see the older generations complaining because things have evolved, and that was
Right.
like, it was like, oh my god. So if I don't evolve, I'm going to be one of those guys that's constantly complaining because it's not like the old days. But I never got into a good stage because nobody knew how to make music. You could only buy music on
Mhm.
iTunes and Amazon at that time, and so when I mean, I'm not the social media guy. Like, it's just if I didn't have music and I was just a normal human being, I would not be on social media. And,
Yeah. I'm with you.
um, but it was something I had to evolve because if you don't, how are you going to keep up? And to me,
Right.
I got to a certain point where it's like, okay, forget that. I want to lead the pack. I want to lead the pack where people are watching what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it was like, I had this conversation is like, you got to constantly be evolving, not just as an artist, but on the business side and then, I mean, now we got to create content. Like back
Yep.
then, I mean, I use this like as John Mayer. John Mayer is like, or that artist, her, like they're one of the, like,
Mhm.
because they're so freaking good at what they
Yeah.
do. Not just writing songs, but being a musician and an artist. There haven't been really that many good acts to follow because we have social media, and it became not
Right.
how good your music was and how we can market this. It became how many likes you got, how many followers you got. It all became a
Yes.
numbers game. And then when you
Right.
realize that you can manipulate the numbers by buying followers or paying for playlisting on Spotify and all that stuff, like,
Yeah.
you know, you got to really l- be different and be like innovative because
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like create trends, but I'm trying to be innovative in what I'm doing to market my music, especially because like, I mean, I did reggae music. I've done rap music. I'm doing soul music. And it got to the point where like, I'm a great rapper. I can write some really, like, I'm a great rapper, but I'm like, do I really want to be 44 rapping on stage? Like, no,
Yeah.
I evolved into learning how to sing and doing funk music and soul music and all these different things where people my age or older or younger are going to come to the shows instead of being that 44-year-old guy trying to appease the younger generation that
Yeah.
I don't even have
Yeah.
anything relatable with,
Right. Right.
you
No,
know,
I think that's great. Yeah. Yeah.
and
I think,
really like targeting my age, like the right age groups. Cause I know
yeah.
I ran into a guy, we were at a studio and this guy's telling me, like, I told him, I'm like, dude, the majority of people that listen to my music are between 40 and 60. And he was like,
Yeah.
see, that's where it's all messed up, man. You got to be doing this younger, like new songs. And I'm like, but bro, like, I'm not 22 years old in a
You're not
nightclub anymore.
22. Right. Right.
No.
Yeah.
And the people that are, and the thing is, like, there's people that are still trying to be young who are so older in age, are really trying to
Right.
fit that mold. But that's not me. That's not me true to myself. And for me to be, I have to in order to make great music, I got to be true to myself and my artistry and my creativity and what I'm
Right.
putting out there. Uh, yeah. What a
Yeah.
great
No,
warm
I
up
agree with you.
question.
I agree. I think, yeah, I think we get caught and it's funny that you bring this up because I just as I was thinking today as I was driving back, I had to go take care of something. I was coming back and I knew I had these podcast recordings I was doing today. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, every time I tell people to go look at my stuff, I'm like, well, okay, there's not a whole lot in social media because I hate social media. I mean, I put it out there. I do put the clips. I tag everybody, but you're not going to see me do a lot of like, here's me in the studio. Here's me with this person. Here's me here. I mean, occasionally, I still like social media. I do it because I have to put it out there. But my YouTube, I can build that because all I got to do is take those clips and keep throwing them in there. I just keep, I just repurpose content. That's all I do.
I, I
But you
really
are
think
so
YouTube,
right that,
I really think
yeah, you're,
YouTube is the best platform. I really think
yeah,
it is.
right, right.
Yeah, I
But I
think
think this
YouTube's the best
whole,
platform to grow. That's where I grew my following. I was on YouTube. Like I got because when it comes to like the digital age of music, like Spotify only gives you so much metrics because they want you to take
right,
money to do your marketing. They don't tell you
yeah,
like who the listener is from what city.
right,
So it's like it's such naked data that they give us, and it's like because they want us to spend money and target these different demographics. But like, why don't you just
right.
tell me who the people are? Like, how can I transition listeners from Spotify? Get them on the Instagram or any other social media channel. So
Yeah.
they only give you a little enough information, but not all of it. And I
Yeah.
get
Just
it because
enough to
then
make you want to have to figure it, to try to
like
figure it out.
like they tells you the cities that listeners are from and stuff like that, but it doesn't
Yeah.
like, and I think like
Right.
honestly, and I had this idea like if MySpace, if they could have like MySpace was the best platform in my opinion
Yeah.
because I could post my music on there and I have my friends list and the music and I get to post my own music. You don't need a distributor. You don't need Spotify. People are going to
Right.
your MySpace page to listen. Now, if they would have got smart and they could have really made MySpace something that could have been monetized as these other social medias were getting involved. Now I don't know if the bigger side of the music industry wanted to shut MySpace down and make it like that, but they could have really because you're already growing your community. You have your music right there on your profile. It was like a one-stop shop for everything. And
Yeah.
if they would have really put their money in that as opposed to something like letting Spotify be created, the game
Yeah.
would be something so much different. The landscape
Right.
would, and
Right.
we wouldn't be getting paid. Like this is the honest truth. I make 0.003 of 1 penny for every stream that I get.
Yeah. They don't,
And
yeah, they don't
and
make
you
it
get it.
easy
I
to,
mean, you're on YouTube, so it's like, you know, I've been really trying to do something different. I have my website now up,
yeah.
dylangarciamusic.com. I
I
put
saw
my
your
music up
website.
there
Yep.
so people can purchase it if they want to
Mm,
support. Name their price. There's like I'm thinking I just might sell my album when it comes out. Just name your price and,
yeah.
you can have it because I'll make more money and at me making my career more financially sustainable as opposed to getting paid peanuts by Spotify
Streams.
or
Yeah.
Apple Music.
Well, they did that with YouTube too, because they made it harder to even monetize on that too. It's a
Yeah.
pain. I mean, not that when I started the show, I never really went into this. Podcasting is such a crazy thing, anyways. I never really went in to do podcasts from that perspective, but they've changed it in the 6 years I've been doing this dramatically. I mean, they make
Yeah.
it's so hard because you can have the subscribers, but you got to have X number of views. And even then, if you start doing the math, like how many views do you have to even make real money? I mean, it's insane, And
Yeah.
so I mean, you really have to you do have to be innovative and creative. And that's the thing I think about the constantly evolving because people ask me all the time, they're like, what do you do with it? And I'm like, look, I'm cool with sponsorship or I might make a community out of it sometime, but that's was never really kind of my goal from the get go. I have other side
Yeah.
businesses that I do. This is my fun thing I do,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
but you're right. I think innovation and being creative and evolving is so important in what you're doing. I do want to ask, I want to start asking you some questions. I want to know like kind of how you got into this, what brought you to this place where you started. I mean, did you with music because you've evolved. And so did you know like as a young child you wanted to do music or did you just sort of kind of find your way into this like,
I
like
knew
how
as
did
a
this come
no, I
about?
knew as a kid. I knew as a kid
You
that's
know?
what I wanted to do because I was singing
Yeah.
all the time. I was doing these little concerts for my neighbors. I was like
Okay.
as
Yeah.
early as like 6, 7 years old.
You're like, come on, I got a show for you. Get over here.
But it wasn't something that was like I could like I mean, it was such a big deal just trying to tell my mom, like, "Hey mom, I want to learn saxophone in band class." It was like, "Oh my God, you play baseball. Like, why do you like and it was like the creative side of my brain was kind of like was there, but it
Yeah.
wasn't embraced in the culture of my family. I mean,
Gotcha.
I come from a Latino family, which we found out on my dad's side we're Native American as well.
Okay.
But that stuff wasn't. I mean, I saw other friends but it wasn't really.
Yeah.
It wasn't embraced in my house. Like I mean, I had to make a promise to my mom that I would never give up saxophone because she had to do this rent to own thing from the music store.
I remember those. Yeah, I remember
Right?
those deals.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
only one
Yeah.
music store in all of town, and they're the only music store that you can get the stuff for band class. Um, it wasn't until when I moved away to school, when I went to college at UC Irvine, I mean, because I was really supportive of my friends that had bands. I
Yeah.
wanted to do it, but I was afraid. Like, I was afraid what my family was like, if this is what I was gonna do. Like, and when I went to Irvine, I bought my guitar. I bought a guitar on New Year's Eve, and uh, that was the beginning. I got dumped. I had just dropped out of a fraternity. I was pledging a fraternity. I was like 90 days in, and I was like, dude, this is like I'm good on
That
this, bro.
sucked.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm a loner, and they told me you're going to be a loner for the rest of your life. I said I'll be a happy loner. I can't. I couldn't like I fit in well. I was partying, having a good time, studying, doing all my
Yeah.
things that I was doing, part of being in Greek life. But something just I'm like, nah, man, this isn't who I truly am. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not really the life of the party guy. Like I'm trying to be for this fraternity. Like I'm really like introverted and a bookworm and a nerd. Like I got to go to school because I was a nerd in school and I was able to go and
Sure.
while everyone's saying, "Oh, you do," like everyone was all that talking, but I was like, "Man, I'll see y'all later. I'm going to college. Y'all stay
Yeah.
keep it nice and cozy back home, but I'm going to go experience this." And
Yeah.
I was after I dropped the fraternity thing, the woman that I was dating, her parents were already kind of iffy about me because I was Hispanic and she was Jewish, and it was just like she dumped me. She dumped
Yeah.
me. And I didn't know about these kind of things going away to school. Like I didn't know about these kind of customs. This was all brand new stuff I'm learning
Sure.
while I'm away at
Right.
college. And
Yes.
so I was like, I just want to buy a guitar and write sad songs, and because it was like my first girlfriend away from home, like when you can stay the night with each other, like,
Yeah.
it was you're young, it's the first
Right.
time, a lot
Right.
of stuff. And
Yeah.
so I was like so heartbroken about it. My buddy took me to Guitar Center when I went home to visit my family, and the Guitar Center had just opened up, grand opening. So they had a lot of deals on guitars, and I bought this like Takamine acoustic electric guitar. I didn't know I could use an amp. I didn't know anything about the instrument, about guitar. And it was just like, I always had I couldn't even tune it with the tuner for a little bit. Like it was so foreign. But a
Yeah.
friend of mine that was in a band showed me how to play a bar chord. And he's like, you learn how to do this, start with
Got
that, and you'll figure out guitar. And so I went with
Yeah.
just that little instruction and just started beating on that guitar until finally it sounded good. And I
Interesting.
think
Yeah.
people have this misconception, I think, with this day and age in society that I should just pick up guitar and be excellent at it. Or, we live in this microwave society where people think they don't have to put in the work to like get really good, or the whole, oh my God, they blew up overnight. When it's like they've been working at this for like 10, 15 years. Um,
Yeah.
like there's no real conception to like the reality of things because social media has it so distorted. And I think people see artists or the music videos and they see this glamorous lifestyle, which they don't realize like, no, those are models. That's fake money. That's, this
Yeah.
is all, it's all a facade. And people want that facade and they think the music industry is that facade. And I break
Yeah.
down the music industry as this: write a song, record it, put it out. Hopefully people like it. And if they like it, hopefully they like it enough that it becomes a hit. And then you spend the rest of your life going on tour performing that hit.
Yeah.
Like, that's what else is there? That's just it. You want to be
Right.
able to tour. And the guy looked at me so foreign, like I had no clue what I was talking about. Like, I'm like, bro, this Instagram shit, excuse my language, this Instagram stuff ain't real. Like, no, you make a song. Like, no matter how much you do your all this stuff on Instagram, like, no, you got to make a really good song. I mean, to break a song to radio is a lot of money. They don't just pick up
Yeah.
songs for nothing. You got to have somebody breaking your music to rate. Like, there's so many components, and being an
Sure.
artist, I mean, it's most expensive for me. I gotta pay for the music that I'm getting from producers. I gotta pay to get my videos done. Like, luckily, I started just trying to learn everything myself so I can afford this.
Yeah.
Editing
Yeah.
videos, CapCut, using Final Cut
Right.
Pro to edit my own music. They're like doing
You
everything
I know all that stuff. Yeah.
right
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the reality of it, unless you're making like 10 grand a month, like,
Sure.
this is an expensive business to be in. And it
Yeah.
came down
Yeah.
for me. It's like, I didn't buy that guitar so I could say, hey, I'm going to be the biggest rock star in the world. I bought that guitar just because I wanted to play some music to myself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then as things grew, it was like, I'm getting good at it because I just kept like the 10,000 hour rule.
Kept
You do
doing.
anything,
Yeah.
and it just started getting better, and I just did it year after year after year. And then sometimes I take a break. I'm tired of guitar. I think I maxed out on my potential, what I could learn. I'm going to start rapping again. And I would switch back and forth, like, to keep
Yeah.
myself creatively happy. And people didn't
Right.
understand, like, oh, this fool's playing good. Because a lot of people didn't know I played guitar prior to rap. This fool's playing guitar now. Who do you think he is? Bob Dylan. Just like, and I think that's the beauty of it, because if you don't evolve and you don't learn all these things, I mean, that's why I know so many people that gave up. I say I know so many people that are still on the sidelines. So I know so people that quit. Because,
Yeah.
like, I mean, you got to have a lot of freaking grit
Yeah.
when it takes a while to happen.
Which is yeah, and it is. I've had so many stories like this, but I keep every time I hear the stories like this, I think about this girl, Ripley Rader. She does these pants called the Ponte pants, and they're for women, and they're amazing. They make you look like you're tall because they're kind of long, pants. They flare out at the bottom, and she tells this story about how she was making these clothes for years and years. And I want to say it. Anybody listening, don't hold me to this. I want to say it was 10 years, but it may have been a little less. The point is that somebody, I think, wore her pants or was talking about her pants on the Today Show. And then all of a sudden, she's now this person who's got these great Ponte pants, but she talked about how for years she did all this work and was kind of undercover. And then she had that one breakthrough moment
Yeah.
years later, and so that is the reality, I think, is that, it's like even doing this show, like when I started it, in the beginning, I mean, now it's starting, like I'll have people feel like that, like every day I have somebody pretty much reach out to me to want to be on it's like every day, multiple people. And I have agents that are, coming in and stuff. And it's so funny because I'll go through and I'll read and I'll be like, where are they finding me at? Like, where are they finding my show at? And I'll be like,
Yeah.
I got one today that said top podcasts or something. I'm like, where is this list? I need to see this list where this top podcast list is because, excuse me, but I have and I'm going to say I worked my ass off since 2019 to build this show. And listen, it has never been about money. It has been, I just want to get the stories out there because there are so many people doing amazing things. And I feel blessed to get to have these conversations. I tell people all the time, I believe that everything we need to know and learn in life, we can have through a conversation. We just need to have conversations with people. And I
Yeah.
am fortunate enough that every day, almost every day, I get to have a conversation with somebody that would have never met had I not been doing this
Right.
show. And that has come up to now between my shows, probably like 600 people. I mean, it's a lot of people I've talked to. And I'm all over the world, like from all walks of life, you know? I mean, every time I get a new one, someone will be like, you haven't got this one. I'm like, bring me that one. That is somebody who I have not talked to that is different than somebody, you know what I mean? And so,
Yeah.
yeah, I think you do it because you enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
And I can relate to you when, you're talking about all these pieces that you've learned to do because, yeah, I just told somebody the other day, I'm like, dude, in order for me to pay, like, ideally, what I would love to happen, if we want to talk about having all this flow for, I would love to be able to farm all my stuff out to everybody. And all I got to do, they can schedule, they can do they can do every piece. And I'll just sit back here and have these conversations and do nothing. It'd be great. But you know what? That cost a lot of money to do
Right.
all those pieces. So yes, while I do have an editor helping me with some of the things, I do all my bookings. I schedule all my people that are going to come on the show, meaning that people reach out to me. They're talking to me. That's who they're
Yeah.
talking to is me, you know? And I do like, I produce it all. I decide how it's going to flow. I decide what's not going to go. I decide what videos. I mean, when I say that, I'm saying like how it's
Yeah.
going to lay out, And so, yeah, we learn. We do it because we enjoy doing it. And the goal is, like you said, hopefully it is to push it and make it do something great, right? But we
Yeah.
do it I think in the beginning because it's really what we love doing. And
It's
to
a
your
love.
point, yes, and
I
to your
mean,
point,
you gotta love something if you're playing guitar for a whole month and you still can't even play a string, you
I
can't even play the
agree. I
chord,
agree.
you know?
My daughter taught herself how to play the ukulele, and I've also taught myself how to play guitar. So I hear you.
Yeah. And people just think like you just pick up a guitar and all of a sudden I'm just
No.
Willie Nelson, and it's like,
Yeah,
no,
no.
man, nobody knew about all those hours spent in my dorm room, like after
Right.
studying, and just
Yeah.
staying up late and you're on your own, like, freedom finally. And I'm just figuring out how to live. And luckily I had that guitar and then I became the guy that always had the acoustic guitar, like, cause I was really into boogie boarding. So I went to the North Shore my last year of college and it's like,
Okay.
I met everyone and it was like, man, that was like, I'm having these moments lately, like where I get these flashbacks of different times in my life. And it's like,
Sure.
I'm over here having self-doubt when it's like, bro, you're such a badass. Like, can't you realize all the stuff you've done? Like,
Yeah.
but he's always me. My bipolar craziness is always on to the next thing. I'm like, okay, we're done. What's next? I got
Yeah.
to have a schedule. I
Sure.
got to be busy. I'm trying to explain this to my friend because I'm like, dude, like I literally chilled for like 2 hours, bro. Do you know how hard that was to just
To
like,
not move, right?
just
Yes.
like, so he's like, what's the matter? You can't sit still. And I was like, no, I got to be productive. I got to
Yeah.
be productive. And I listen to a lot. I do a lot of personal development. I listen to like Eric Thomas, Dr. Eric Thomas, like people that like, and
Sure.
it's not about money. Cause I know if I do it right, God's going to bless it regardless if I'm doing it right or for the right reasons. And right now, like I'm having I think my breakthrough is really coming on this next song that I release. It comes out on Thursday next week. It's
That's
called I Wanna Be
awesome.
Me.
Yeah.
I wrote and recorded this song a year ago when I stopped
Okay.
drinking alcohol. I said I didn't drink for like 5 months. My brother anniversary is on Thursday next week, the 19th, the same day
Okay.
that my brother's anniversary of him
Awesome.
passing. It's
Okay.
the same day. I planned it like that because it's like I try to plan my releases with significant days, whether it's my grandma's
Right.
birthday or something, just significant to me. And I've always been putting out projects ever since my brother passed out on his anniversary of his passing.
Gotcha.
And this song's about me, like fighting these demons that I got with alcohol. And like, I never was a heavy drinker. Like I used to be able to like
Yeah.
get off work, buy like a 24-ounce of Heineken. Okay.
Yeah.
Call it a night and go to work the next day. But then when I was misdiagnosed as schizophrenic, I was kind of like a guinea pig on trying to figure out what they were going to do to fix the schizophrenia they're saying that I'm having. So like for
Yeah.
about when I realized, and then they told me, don't drink, don't smoke pot. You got to stay good. I'm like, okay. And then like I didn't drink for like maybe like 2 months, but I was on the wrong medication. So like my mind is really messed up. I mean, antipsychotic medications are no joke,
Right.
especially
Right.
giving medications for something that you're not even diagnosed correct. And that's the failure of
Yeah.
the
That's the
psychiatric
scary
system that we
thing.
have,
Yeah.
the mental health system. I lost about 10
Yeah.
years, almost a decade of my life trying to figure out what the hell's going on with me. And in that meantime, I turned into a heavy drinker where it was like, man, I need to drink like 4 of these 24 ounces. So, because that's the only time my mind feels like it's okay, because my
It's
mind's got
calm. Yeah.
landmines going off 24 hours a day because I'm not on the right
Right. Right.
medication. And so, a lot of people don't know about like this, and I wasn't like, I was like heavily drinking, like out, like not in bars, but like not causing trouble. But I mean, to the point where I got DUIs, making bad
Okay.
decisions. And,
Yeah.
and this song, I Want to Be Me, is like talking about like my struggle, my battle with alcohol that I have. I mean,
Yeah.
it's up there with like Jelly Roll and Teddy Swims kind of style of music. The song is, because it's not
Yeah.
R&B.
I like
It's
Teddy
like
Swim. Yeah.
it's like bluesy. It's like painful, the music, and I'm sharing my pain through this song. Like, and the chorus goes, "I'm going through changes, 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 'cause I've been broken." 'Cause I've been broken. I'm going through changes, 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 'cause I've awakened. Yeah, I'm going through changes, changes, changes. And it's about like this part. It's like, when I did this song the very first day I stopped drinking. And it was like
Yeah.
everything
Wow.
came out of me. And I sat
Yeah.
on it for a year. Like, I didn't even put it out. It was just going to be a song on my album. But then I heard it and I said, man, I got to put this out on Frankie's anniversary. And so I already had the artwork for it because the song was already done.
Yeah. You were
And
just sitting on it.
I
Yeah.
put it out. I said, forget it. I'm putting it out. I got the artwork. There's no reason not to. And I got a distributor that puts out my music on Spotify, Apple Music,
Okay.
for my record label, for me as an artist, my record label.
Okay.
And I'm kind of like really in deep with them because I've been putting out so much music. I've been with them consistently for quite a while.
Yeah.
They fixed some situations with some like copyright issues, with like, you know, but then when you put out a new song, you get to pitch it to Spotify.
Okay.
And you write this pitch, what instruments are in it, what's the song about,
Yeah.
But my distributor also, they're heavy hitters when it comes to getting the music on editorial playlists, like new music, right?
Okay.
Like the big playlist on Apple, stuff like that. So when I went to go check on Spotify to go pitch my song, it said it
Yeah.
was already pitched by like DSP, like somebody important pitched it to Spotify.
Huh.
They did that work for me.
Okay.
And this has never happened on any song. Today, I finally found out. I read the pitch that they sent. I said, oh, man, this is like the pitch that they sent to Spotify. I saw it. And I was like, whoa, this is like on some next level shit here. Like,
Okay.
this has never happened. I started doing content. I started putting out content for the song.
Yeah.
Now, I only released like a 12-second clip the first time I dropped it. Like, I just saying, I gotta put the bottle down. Yeah, I know it's got a grip on me. Yeah, I'm being played by the enemy. And that's like the opening lines of the song. And then a couple days later, I released a longer clip, about 28 seconds. But the second part of that, the second part of the first verse, and it's going viral on Instagram right now. It's got like, since I last checked, it's been shared 500 times.
Cool. Okay.
And I'm like, cool. Now I know.
Yeah. Share. Yeah. That's a lot.
Now
Share. Wow.
this is not even paid. This isn't even paid ad yet. Now I know once I run this as a paid ad, this is gonna hit. Song ain't even out yet. And and I've never had a song, only one other one that did something like this, but it didn't get pitched like
Okay.
level. And
I'm gonna have to go check this out.
I was supposed to have a show April 9th. I put like just some funny business and see it, because I always work on good business with people. I can't stand people that always got some kind of ulterior motive or something like that. And it's like that in this music business, because I've gone through so many shady people in my life.
Sure.
And so I'm like, okay, I was going to perform the night before Coachella, right down the street, right, like about 10 minutes away from where the Coachella festival is. But then I act on my gut and I say, you know what? If this is funny, like, I'm not doing it. And sometimes I'm like, did I shoot myself in the foot? But then at other times I'm like, rejection is God's protection. Like maybe this wasn't supposed to happen. And
Right,
now
right.
I'm like, okay, let's get a show in LA. Now we've been doing out here by Coachella Valley. Let's go back to LA. And I'm like, man, maybe that's what I need to be doing. And then I'm thinking, if the song is a breakthrough, everything could just fall into place if it gets on that New Music Friday list or one of these big lists. Like I had another, so my last release got playlisted on Deezer through an
Okay.
editorial playlist, and that one went like, so it gets to a certain point when you realize the product is good enough. It's good
Yeah.
enough. I'm
Yeah.
finally
I
at a
agree.
point in my career where I'm like consistently been putting out good music for like 4 years now.
Yeah.
At least 10 songs a
Well,
year.
maybe this is it. Maybe this
I
is the
think
piece,
so. I think so because and I get chills like thinking about it, like,
Yeah.
wow, could it? And
Yeah.
then, the funny thing about it, it's always the songs that I'm sitting on. It's always the songs that I'm
You know
sitting
what?
on.
I was just gonna say that, but I think everything is like that. I think it's like even when I will say even like when I don't do music, I play piano and all that, and I love music. I think music is powerful. But it's funny because even like when I do work with my podcast, when I try really hard at something, it never does as well when I just do something. Like it doesn't mean I don't work at it. It just means that it's naturally flowing. I'm not
Yeah,
having to exert a lot of extra effort. And it's the funniest thing because I will do something and I'll put it up and be like, damn, I didn't even really do a lot of work on that. Like I just did it. And that is like, people like that, and then something else
yeah,
I will have thought. And I think it's because when we are truly like in our creative genius or like in our zone, things flow freely. They just sort
yeah,
of happen. But when we're trying hard, we're overthinking it, we start doubting ourselves. So what do? We start changing the wrong things. So
yeah,
I'll give you a case in point. Just the other day, the stupid as this is from a creator perspective. Okay. I'm trying to put clips together, stupid video clips, like repurposing clips into YouTube and there. And I'm like, seriously, 3 hours later, I'm looking at this and I'm like, should I change the freaking font? Should I change the dumbass font? Like,
right.
what size font should I put on the captions? I'm on ChatGPT. What size font should I put on my captions? Okay, just about the moment I get it figured out, I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like the way it looks. Okay, back to square one. Finally, I decided, I'm like, dude, you got to stop. You got to stop doing this. Just get a freaking template and be done with it. So I finally created a template. But here's what's funny is I kind of had part of it. I do like my captions the way I got them figured out. I'm cool with that. We're good. We're going to leave it alone. I'm not touching it. I'm done. But then I had changed like my little banner thing. And then I went back and I was like, after I did spend all that time doing it, I'm like, no, we're going back to what I created because what I created looked good. It was fine. It was fine. But for some reason, I started overthinking it and like, it's what we do. And that's my point in this is that when we're just in our creative zone, we're not overthinking stuff. We just create and it
Yeah,
flows out. And it doesn't mean you're not working hard at what you're doing. It just means you're in your zone and that's where you're supposed to be, right? When we start trying
100%.
to like doubt ourselves, we want to start doing what other people are doing. And we're looking at people and think, oh, well, maybe they got and like you said early on, remember when you said in the very beginning about how people tell you, oh, well, you should be doing this. And you're like, no, I'm working where I need to be working, right?
Yeah,
I have to do the same thing. I have to remind myself all the time that my content is this way. I'm not going to be the girl that's going to run around with the phone going, look at me. Today I'm filming and hey, I'm over here. I'm
yeah,
just not her. I'm not that person. But I will put out content that looks professional and that is good and that I'm highlighting people and it will be positive. We do talk about everybody. It will be this way and that
yeah,
is what you will find every single time with me. You know what I mean? So I guess
yeah,
my point is you just know it's good enough. You stay in your lane. You know what I mean? You do what you're
yeah.
good at and you be proud of that work and don't second guess yourself. You got it. You know what you're doing.
That's
But
the
that
thing.
song, the
We
song
get
is
in our
coming out. I'm
head. We
excited.
get inside our heads so much. It's the hamster wheel doesn't stop spinning, and we're like always
Yeah.
reanalyzing. And like I get it, like because with like content has become such a thing that it's
Yeah.
like got us really. breaking our mental
I
psyche,
know,
just trying to
right? You're
figure
like, can
out
we just
if
let it go?
do I do a little outro? Do I add the artwork? Do I do this? And it's just like, dude, I
You
spent like
just
30
want to make
minutes on this thing
music.
with little views.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you just want to make music and I just want to have great conversations. I mean, that's really what we want to do. That's what we want to do. And the problem is we're being forced to have to do all these other things we don't really want to mess with. You know, like I could just like forget all that over there. I'd be like, hey, I don't want any of that. You know what I mean? And let me just
Oh
have
my God.
my cool conversations, and stuff. So I'm excited to hear about your song though. Now when we get off here today, I'm gonna go look up. I mean, I looked your stuff up before I jumped on. I'm gonna go do it again, and I'm gonna be like, I gotta follow you so I can see when the song comes out. I'm excited for you. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah, the
gonna be
song
great.
comes out.
It's gonna be great. I want to ask you, because you've worked with some great people in the industry, and I think this is always the fun part is like, what we learn from the people around us and that people that are kind of
Yeah.
doing the things where we want to go. What are some lessons that you feel like maybe you've taken away from some of those experiences working with these amazing people?
Oh, well, one thing, um, back in 2021, I had the opportunity and I got together with one of my producers, Ronnie King, and a legend by the name of DJ Tony G. And now
Okay.
DJ Tony G, I mean, I had a lot of the albums that he produced records on when I was a kid, like in the 90s.
Okay.
And he produced some records for like my favorite rappers. He was sampling some of the music that I listened to as a kid by El Chicano. Like it was just so when he was showed up on somebody's Instagram and I'm like, Tony G has an Instagram? Like, what? Because you never knew you could never put a face to the guy because there
Yeah.
was no social media back then. He was just
Right.
on the credits. And so I set up this studio session. It was like great because Ronnie and Tony know each other from the 90s. So it's like
Okay.
I'm talking like Easy E, all the golden age of 90s rap music on the West Coast. I mean, they
Yeah.
were a part of that whole movement. And having those guys together was like, I mean, I had just met Tony. I was like starstruck when I met Tony G. Like, you're Tony G? Oh my God. Because he couldn't find the ranch. He couldn't find it. So I went to go find him. And I'm like, you
Yeah.
pull up and he's like, yeah, I'm in the ranch. I said, you're Tony G? Like, like, and one thing I took away, because Tony told me when I was playing guitar and we ended up doing something different. That's when I stopped playing guitar. And I was like, okay, we're going a whole new direction then. And Tony says, let me drive the car. Like, let me drive the car. And I got it. I'm in the car with these guys and we're driving the
Yeah.
song. So basically, let him drive the song, drive the car. What I learned from those sessions, because I got so much knowledge of not just being around people, listening to their stories, like sacred stories, like it's probably stuff that nobody's ever heard. And the
Yeah.
fact that they respected me and trusted me enough to be that open around me made me really feel good. Like, damn, not like trying to fit in, but
Yeah.
I'm not just the artist, like we're all, it was such a great session. What I
Yeah.
took away from that was never be afraid to drive the car yourself,
It's good.
because
Yeah.
once then I got like my previous publicist, like I had a falling out with them. I got rid of them. So certain people just started falling out of the equation.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think I could probably be my own publicist. That can't be too hard.
Sure.
I got, and Tony told me, he's like, there was another guy, we were shooting a documentary of my studio sessions with these guys.
Okay.
And Tony had said, like, you got to know how to run the studio program. Like, you got to be. And the guy was like, nah, I'll just go to the studio. And that's what I always learn. Like, people are so freaking lazy. Like, they don't want to learn something new. Like, even another guy, why would I want to spend all my time learning that when I just paid for the studio? Because sometimes you got an idea out of nowhere and I could just come here and record it. And not
Yeah.
only that, make it sound freaking good
Yeah.
because I invested the time. And I feel like I have so much more control creatively over what I'm doing because I'm not sending my music to get mixed by anybody. I'm not sending it to,
Right.
I just put in the work to learn it myself. I didn't go to school for this, but I do
Yeah.
get compliments like, damn, your mixes are really clean and clear. And I was always being about clarity when it comes to music. I love the high
Right.
treble and not too much high bass. Like the treble, you want to hear everything. And I've just gotten good at it. I have a template that I use. I've never changed it. And
Yeah.
anytime I ever try to change it, it doesn't sound the same. And it's like, just stick with the template.
Stick
Just
with
stick
what
with
you
it.
know. You know
Yeah.
what? And something to your point there about the whole idea of, like, learning, it was making me think about something too, like, couple things. Like, one, it's kinda like back this up, like, when I was in Mary Kay, we used to talk about delegating, but we used to talk about, like, I remember this tax guy came out, and he would say, like, "Do your taxes one time so you know how to do your taxes, then you can let somebody do them." And I think there's a lot to this because I can, in one hand, say, like, to your point, that being able to know these things, yes, you have the freedom now to go in and you can do these things because you know how to do them, right? Like, and you know what you
Yeah.
like and what you don't. But I also think too, as creators, we are proud of the things that we do, and we have a certain standard that we want,
Mm,
and it's very
yeah.
hard because I feel
Mhm.
like I go through this with my podcast. I get edits back and I'll be like, "That is not how I would put a show out. I don't like it. I don't like the way," like, it's stupid. It could be something dumb as this curtain right here. I have my little podcast. I go into the studio sometimes, but this is my home studio that I built. It could
Yeah.
be as dumb as my curtain may be not closed all the way in the corner and it's in the video. And I'm like, no, we are not. No, 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 we're not putting
Mhm.
that out. Freaking move the screen over. So I
Yeah.
think we know what we like and what we want to create, and whether it's music, whether it's your video, whatever it is you're putting out, we have a standard, right? And there's some things we can be like, "Hey, we don't care about that. You can do that." But then there are other things like, "No." And I get it. That's what I get it. And so you
Yeah.
have had to do a lot like where I've had to do where you had to learn. I had to learn how to do Adobe Premiere and make video in the beginning, how to do videos. Now I recently, you're gonna laugh because I have this thing called Descript that I actually love and I learned how to use. Took me forever, but I figured it out. And it's so funny because it put a little thing on my LinkedIn that says I can now do edits on Descript. Like, I have mastered, I can totally navigate that and do edits like fast now. But first
Awesome.
time, like the first few weeks, I mean, hours and hours. I was like, if I have to look at this screen again, I'm going to just go nuts. So I feel you when you're saying this, and I get it because I know as a creator that we take pride in the things we do and it is work and we enjoy it. And, we wouldn't do it if we didn't. But I think, it's like everything you're saying, coming back to trusting what we're good at, what we know, and being okay with all of that. It's okay that, it's not all perfect, but it's our perfect. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
our perfect is what I say, and I'm
I
okay with it.
mean,
And it is what it is.
standards. I mean,
Yes, standards.
standards is anything in my standard. Yeah, I do have standards when it comes to
And you should.
how I want
You
to
should.
be seen on
Yes.
social media or everything that I do. I'm still using the same graphic designer from
Uh,
2007.
Are you? That's okay.
Almost 20 years.
If
And
it
he's the
works.
only one that's fine. He's the only one that gets I could like this guy send him the song and he's like, okay, cool. What do you want? And I'm like, get creative with it. Do what you
Yeah,
want.
you trust him. Yeah, you trust him. Let
Yeah.
him know.
And
Those are
he
the
always
best.
and
Yeah.
and and like I just people have come and go out of my life when it comes to people that have helped me or people that I've worked with. But it seems like finally the right people fell in.
Yeah.
And people I can call and be like, "Hey, what do you think about this? Da, 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 this going on?" And they'll tell me, they'll give me an honest answer at the same
Yeah.
time.
That's good. Yeah.
And not every opportunity is a good opportunity
Right.
at the same time. And I'm the one that's I'll admit it. I made mistakes in jumping the gun and jumping on opportunities when it's like, man, why did I do that? And then it's like harder to pull out because you didn't say no from the get
Right,
go.
right.
And I'm learning how to use the power of no. Like,
Yeah. Good,
no. 'Cause
good.
I
It's
I
hard.
I like to think I'm a good man, but I think, like, I mean to make sure that people just think I'm not just some nice guy. Like, I
Yeah.
do have standards. And I think people, because I'm cool dude. I'm cool. I would like me if I was in my, because
Yeah.
I'm a good dude. But it's like not everybody's good people, and some
Right.
people see that as like a green light that, oh, I could probably take advantage of this
Yeah,
person.
vulnerability,
And then when
yeah.
I'm no,
Yeah.
no, no, this isn't the first time somebody's tried to do this. Sorry, we won't be working anymore.
Yeah.
And I've never had that problem. Like people get mad. And then I love it because at the end goal, it's like if I'm winning or successful, like the song's doing good and everything, it's like that's me with my middle finger up saying, see what you could have done. You could have kept working with this if you just didn't get greedy or if you
Yeah.
just get shady. Like I think I've built up a really great foundation and a solid uh foundation on my music that
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I think it's
yeah,
good. No, and I think that's the thing you're learning. I mean, it's interesting to hear you say this, all of these things because I feel like no matter where you are, like whether you're in the creative space or you're in business, we all go through these sort of things of trusting ourselves and finding our right. Because I always talk about like, your circle of influence, the people that you bring into your space. I mean,
yep,
we've all been there where we've been connected to people that we needed to get rid of.
yep,
And we've said yes to things where we shouldn't have said yes. I've been in partnerships where I've been in organizations where I got in immediately after that. I realized, oh my gosh, like I gotta get myself out of here. Like I had a thing for a while there where I was partnered up with a group, and I realized afterwards that we were having kind of um a disagreement on what was going to happen with my podcast because it was my ownership and they wanted
yep,
to get involved and start telling me how I was going to have to get rid of somebody and we were going to change the name. And I was like, oh, hold up. No, there's no contract. I am not doing any of this because this is mine. Thank God I didn't because I went, like I said, went and trademarked my show. And like now I know I am not, no, somebody's going to have to speak some really good languaging to me for me to even consider partnering up on any level with
yep,
my podcast because at this point I have worked so hard on it that I don't even, like I don't even want to do that. So I get it. And that's what I'm saying. I
yep,
think we all go through those moments where we have to really decide, what we want and who we want in that space. And it sounds like listening to you're in that you're figuring all that out. And that's a good thing. It's a good
yeah.
feeling.
It's just progress. It's just
It
progress.
is.
You have
Yes.
progress every day. Progress every day.
Yeah,
And
I agree with you.
and I'm just grateful that my friend tells me he's like, bro, you told me something that stuck with me for as long as I've known you. And he says, and because he was like, he was asking me about something about music, and I said, bro, I plan on doing this the rest of my life.
Yeah,
And he was like, whoa, like,
you
yeah,
enjoy it.
bro.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be singing while I'm in my 80s still.
Yep, you'll be, yep, I believe it.
This has become a lifelong journey, not like, oh,
Sure.
if I'm not famous on Instagram in 2 weeks, I'm gonna quit.
Right,
Like
right, because it's
it
not
was
a
never
fleeting
about
thing.
fame. It wasn't about
Yeah,
money. It was just
yeah,
about, well, I'm actually good at this. Well, then if we could do it, let's do it. But that wasn't the plan. But it's a cool plan that it's actually got to this point because I worked my ass off
yeah,
to get to this point. And it's gotten to the point where I have created my life so I could still do music
yeah,
and created a life like what I do during the day and have my freedom and all that. Because like I was interviewing for like sales jobs, business development jobs, stuff like that. And I'm like, it's like I come to a
so
crossroads.
opposite. Yeah,
I was like on a come at a crossroads, like, dude, I need to make money. I could inject more money into my music and this and that. But it's
sure.
like, man, I'm gonna have $75,000 responsibilities. Am I even gonna have time? Am I even gonna want to do this after a long day? When it's like I got it where I'm trying to like only work 6 hours a day and then have my afternoon to do what I want. I wake up at like between 4 and 4:30 every morning. I get my grounding in, I get my meditation in, I get my
Good
reading
for
in, I get my
you.
Bible.
Yes. All good
I
stuff, by the way. Yes, yes.
I put in work. I put in work,
I'm
Jeffer,
up
because
at
this
4:30 every day too, so I hear you.
right,
Every day.
you know,
Every
and it's
day.
just
Yep.
habit. It's just such a. It's just boom, my body just up like, oh, it's a new
Yeah, you
day. I
got
guess it's
lots
time
to
to go
do.
now.
Yep, you got
Yeah.
lots to do. You got lots of things to make happen in your day. I hear
Yeah.
you. I hear you.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you're doing like, I love it. I think, yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to go check out your stuff. So when I get done, I'm gonna have to go check everything out. I'll follow you. By the way, I'm excited to
Thank
keep up
you.
with what you got going on. I have like I want to ask you, like, this is kind of a fun question. If you could, like, I was asked this. I ask kind of corny questions like this, but I think this is a fun one for you. So if you could collaborate with like any musician, who would you pick?
It would be the band that made me fall in love with music, El Chicano, the '70s band. Um, because I always wondered why they had so many songs that were just instrumentals on their albums. And
Yeah.
I was always like, man, maybe they're waiting for me to be their singer.
That's good. That is
Because I was just like,
good.
dude, this music is so good. Why is nobody
Why
singing?
is nobody singing to it? That is
And
great.
if I
That's
could,
so
oh my
fun.
God, like if I could join, I know a lot of some of the original members aren't alive anymore, but like they
Yeah.
still have the band. They still have a band that
Okay.
continues on. Some of the guys have their sons in the band
How
and
fun.
still
Yeah.
continues on.
Yeah.
But like that would, if I could like do a song with them and like they give me their unique sound, which made me fall in love, would be like, that would be a dream come true. That would. Tony G was like, I mean, I have the bucket list of people that I want to work with,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
legendary, if I can make something happen like that, that would be,
That
that
would
would
be the
be,
thing. It's
that would,
awesome.
that would be like, I could retire music. I've done everything I've wanted to do.
Yeah.
I do mention though, I do say that because my pursuit wasn't all this to happen.
Yeah.
Um, the fact that it did, and some of the shows, just some of the opportunities that I had, just some of the stuff that's happened. I mean, it's all brand new because I've never experienced it. It's all
Yeah.
it humbles me, like some of the things that I've done. Like, whoa, I can't believe I got done that. We're like, whoa, I can't believe like Kenny O'Brien just invited me to his house to jam out. Like, like stuff like that. And like, I'm always on to the next thing. And it's like, man, this has been the biggest blessing of my life because music. I mean, music has brought me to a lot of places.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
and I'll tell you, music's opened more doors than my education. I'll tell you, music opened more doors than my bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but but I take it as there was never any final expectations of what I had to do with my music career. That's why it's like
Right.
everything is so new. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm grateful because it was no like I got to be famous in 5 years. I got to make $1 million off music.
Right.
No, it was
Right.
like who can my music touch? Who can my music affect?
Yeah. I love
Who
it.
can my music who was my music making feel good?
Yeah.
Who that's why I say I wish they would give me the more analysis on the numbers because I'd be hitting up all those people in France and all these other countries listening to my music. I would love to get to know who they are,
Right.
but
Right. Right.
open more doors and I still get to do this. Like that's the
Yeah.
thing. I still
I
get to
love it.
do this. I still get to do this.
I love it. So, what advice would you give? Let's say somebody else is, and I have a feeling I kind of know what you might say, but I want to hear from you. So, what advice would you maybe give to somebody? Let's say somebody right now is sitting in this place where they're like, I want to make music or I want to start something, but they're they don't think they have maybe the time or they don't think they have what it takes to do. What would you say to them?
Play the long game.
Play the long game.
Play
Just
the
do it.
long game.
Just do it, right? Like,
Play the
just
long
do
game.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with
Play the
that.
long game. Play
Yeah.
the long game. And
But you
because
know
now,
what? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, I have a fat catalog because I just kept doing it,
Play the
you
long
know?
game.
And I
Yeah.
get one, and then maybe I want to be the hits. And then all of a sudden my catalog is worth a lot of money.
That's so
And then
awesome.
it's like, God, if that was the plan, and it's like in this song, like I'm honoring God, I'm having a conversation with God, like you could quit today and never go back, said never go back. And it's like, I showed you what you're capable of. You know what I mean? I showed you what you're capable of.
Yeah.
Love yourself. Love yourself, man.
Right,
You
right.
know?
Right.
And it's so powerful. I even do a prayer in there where I'm saying, like, Lord, make me in your image, not in how these other people see me. Make me how you see me.
Right.
And I mean, I'm a firm believer, man. I'm getting chills right now just thinking about it. And it ain't the air conditioner either.
I always say that in my show too. I'm like, damn, you're giving me chills. That's good. I mean, you're tapping in your zone. I think it's great. And you know what? You said something a while ago, and I forgot what it was specifically, but you were talking about it leads to this whole idea that when you're doing, I was going to say, I had a gal come on my show way back when we first started it, and she runs a big organization here called the Girl Cave, and she does they have like different events for women. It's kind of a big thing here. But one of the things she said, my show I've never forgotten, is she said, your strengths always find you. And so when you were talking about when you were talking specifically about how it's opened doors for you, like music has opened doors for you. And it made me think of that because when you're doing what is in your creative genius, I believe that that's the flow that we keep kind of alluding to here, that it puts you in places and opportunities that you probably would have never been able to go in because you were doing something that wasn't in that space. So you weren't probably really even on a subconscious level, even performing at a level truly that you're gifted in. You know what I mean? And when you're in your zone doing things you absolutely love, it's like, I told somebody one day, you'll laugh at this. I told somebody one day, I said, like, for me, like getting up in front of talking in front of people does not bother me. They're very seldom. Occasionally somebody will come on and I'm intimidated. But the funny thing about this is that when I was a kid, like I would get my little boombox out and I would hit that play record button with my cassette tapes and I would record like I was a DJ on the radio. I would just be like talking, hi, you're talking to. And then I went through like this whole really awkward time between like middle school to high school. Even in college, I took public speaking. I was like, dude, I am never, ever, 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 ever going to talk in front of a group of people. And then God has a sense of humor. I went into Mary Kay and I spent 22 years in Mary Kay. And wouldn't you know that while I was in Mary Kay, I had to do a lot of presentations, meaning I had to get up and I had to talk in front of all kinds of women. I mean, mean women, nice women, women that stared at me and criticized me, nice women. I get the ones that never talk. They just stare at me and I'd be like, are y'all in there? Looking at me, you know, and I learned that over time, like I got good at telling stories and I got good at doing that kind of stuff. And so here we are with this podcast today. But the funny thing is that I think, I every time I come back to this, I remember what she said about how our strengths seem to find us. And when they do, I feel like we're in our zone. And so it's funny. Like when I started doing this show, I used to always do these pre-interviews where I would be like, I got to get on the other person on the other side because I need to know who they are so that on the day they show up, I have a feel for how to have that dialogue. Now I just jump on. I'm like, I have no idea who this person is. I'm just going to get on. We're going to figure it out. We will be fine. It will work. And I tell you, there's been some that get on that don't talk at all and some that talk, just don't shut up at all, but you learn, and that's the thing. I think when you're in your zone, you figure out, you're in it and it doesn't have to be worked. You have the ability to freely show up. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean because, like,
So,
I'm in flow state usually twice with the music because sometimes I won't write the lyrics down. I'm just listening and channeling whatever lyrics are coming
up. Yeah.
whatever the music's inspired. And, I started doing that a lot more when I moved to my place here in the desert.
Yeah.
And, that's flow state because I'm not thinking. It's just coming. And then the other time of flow state is the best part is when you get to perform these songs. Like I messed up my last show. I forgot to put my sunglasses on, or I think I left them in the car because usually, like with the sunglasses, nobody could see my eyes. But with this one, I forgot the sunglasses. So I mean, I was sweating, I had gel in my hair, my eye was burning, I had sweat stains under my sport coat, and because I was performing for like an hour.
Sure,
I mean, that's a workout. That's
right.
You can gas it. I'm not just sitting on a chair, or just standing in front of a microphone stand.
No, you're a showman, so you're performing,
dancing and doing my thing, and I was like, man, because usually the sweat's just all building up underneath in the bottom of the sunglasses, so I'm good. But
Yeah.
the last time, man, I was just like, man, and I was like, I want to close my eyes, but I don't know if they're gonna see me closing my eyes, and I just got
Yeah.
sweat coming in and it's burning. And this was like maybe the fourth song in. I said, man, it's gonna be a long night. It's gonna
Yeah.
be a long night.
But you
But to be
did
able
it.
to go on stage and just do my thing, man, that's when because when I'm done, it's like I'm the most calm and peaceful. Like
Right.
I'm tired, like as if I ran like, a marathon, but it's just like time. And I could just like, and just because all the rehearsals I put into the show,
Right.
like all the like I don't go up and wing it. Like, I don't know. I want to put on a really good show when people come see me. And that's the ultimate though, is like the gift that I get to bring to the audience is them seeing me performing,
Yeah.
seeing the emotions in my face and my movements and everything that I'm doing on stage. That's the best part to me.
I
Is
get you.
performing.
I get it. I mean, I'm not from the music perspective, but I
Yeah.
think anytime we're doing something where we put a lot of energy and effort into something and showing up, and I do workshops and stuff, so I feel like it's kind of in some ways, it's kind of similarly that thing where you're doing all that mental prep and like how you're going to go up
Yeah.
there and present these workshops out, and and then you're like I'll do things like I had to interview he was I think the CEO of a nonprofit here that's pretty big here in the Dallas area. They do a lot of
Uh-huh.
stuff for underprivileged families and stuff. And so I had to interview him, and it was so funny because I went in there with my little piece of paper and I had it folded like this because I'm like, I know me. We're gonna get up there and we're just gonna have a talk. And I know we're not gonna follow anything because I just ask questions. I will tell you something funny behind all of that though. Whenever I do podcast, here's going to be a really good example. This is going to be a really good example, this episode right now, because I think I've only asked you 2 questions off my notes, my paper that I printed out. We're going to see how it does because I tell you, it's funny. Whenever I do these ones like this, a lot of times where they're not really like we're having dialogue, people like them because we're just having these conversations. And then when
Yeah.
I do all my purposeful planning and I go through it, sometimes they're kind of sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. So we'll see. This will be a good test to see how we did here because I
Good.
think I asked you 2 off of here. The rest of it, I've just kind of made them up as we've kind of gone along in
But
dialogue.
they've been
So
good questions,
yeah,
so that's
good
good.
stuff. Dylan, this has been so much fun. I'm gonna follow you when I get off here because now I've had
Thanks,
such a great
Jennifer.
conversation. You've great energy. I love it. I want to see more about your work. I want to see this record, all this stuff come out. Here's what I want to know. Where do we want to send our people? Because when I get these show notes put together, I will put links in there for them so they can go follow you, find the song, all of the good stuff. So you tell us where we're going.
DylanGarciaMusic.com.
That's easy.
DYLAN. DylanGarciaMusic.com. It's got my music on there. You can purchase the music. Got all my links to social media and YouTube and videos and
Perfect. Okay.
everything.
Perfect. Well,
Yeah.
we'll make sure that we get it in there. That's how mine is set up too. I had to like get the hub because I had like a website here, the website here. I'm like, that's it. We just going to have a JenniferLoehding.com. You can find everything you need to find under there. It's a lot easier. So I feel you. Hey, this has been great. I mean,
It's been
I'm
great. Thank you,
excited
Jennifer.
for you. Thanks for opening up and sharing and being vulnerable and telling us all this because people listen to these things and and I've had over the years I've had different people come in and be like, hey, I heard that one episode and and something that person said. And sometimes I don't even know they're listening. They tell me stuff. They'll be like, hey, I was listening to that episode somebody put out the other day. And I'm like, oh, really? What'd you think about it? Did you get something? Did you get a takeaway from it? So maybe
Yeah.
there'll be somebody in there that, is listening to this right now that's thinking they want to jump into that next step or maybe pick up that guitar and start playing. And who knows what might come from it? You never know. Right.
Treat it as a journey, not a destination.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
thank you for sharing with us and giving your time to our audience today. Been fun.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Absolutely. Of course, to the audience, and we want to say to you, we appreciate you. We love you. Thanks for tuning in. And of course, be sure you follow Dylan, check out his work and follow him. And if you like this episode, do all the things like, share, comment, subscribe so we can keep sharing all this fabulous content. And as I always say, in order to live the extraordinary, you must start. And with every start, there is a decision. So you guys take care of yourself, be kind to one another. We will see you next time.